I am the Director of Technology Enhanced Instruction at Jamestown Community College. Today we are going to look at our online quality review process. The online quality review process is an essential part of ensuring that we have the right courses available to students in online. Research has shown that the better that you put your courses together, the more likely that students will succeed and complete the course. So we have a vested interest on this. Right now at Jamestown Community College, we have gone and we show incremental improvements as we get better and better at putting these courses. So one of the things that we would like to do, and it's a volunteer program, is to do quality reviews on as part of the course refresh process. All new courses will go through this quality review to ensure that we're putting initially the best product out there. But one of the things that we like to do is do a regular refresh on the courses to make sure that we keep them good and keep them where students are engaged. So this quality review was created by Open SUNY, and the process basically includes a team that looks at the course. So one is an instructional designer, that's part of my team. We also have somebody looking at it in terms of accessibility to make sure that anyone who happens to be taking one of our courses is able to access the material and be able to use it. It makes no sense to put together materials and then students not being able to use it. We also have another reviewer that comes in and looks at it strictly from the student's perspective. And then finally, we also have the faculty member kind of run their own, the rubric, and it just helps them understand elements that will make it better. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of walk you through the process. So the first thing that happens is that you will basically ask for your course to review. It may come with a little prompting, but basically you're going to say, I have this course I would like you to review. And what we'll do is we will make a copy of the course. We will not use a course where there's students in the course. We will make a copy of it in Blackboard, and we will take that and we'll set it for a student, anyone that comes in as part of the team that I mentioned, will go in there and look at it from a student perspective. So that's what we're going to be doing. The next thing that I do is I basically, we have this OSCQR rubric. It's a Google Doc, and I will create basically an instance of this rubric and share it with the appropriate members of the team. So each member has different tabs that they need to fill out and taking a look at the course. So it's an important thing. This is not an evaluation of the instructor at all. This is basically looking at the course and looking at it based on sound instructional design to make sure that we are putting out the best course possible. And we offer these recommendations back to the instructor, and the instructor can then go ahead and make those changes, but it doesn't go anywhere else but the feedback just to the instructor. So that is what happens as part of the course. So let me show you the OSCQR rubric and what we're basically using and kind of walk you through the rubric, things that we're looking for. This would help in your course design, and it'll be off to a good start. Let's see if this works. I don't see anything sharing, so hold on. We will stop this, and let me share this. Okay, so this is the OSCQR rubric that I talked about. So it has, at the bottom of it, you can see a number of tabs, and each tab has a different part of the rubric. that different people are responsible for. The first is the course profile. So we want to understand a little bit about a course, and I just started working with this particular course, deals with entrepreneurship. And so one of the things that we're going to do is work with the instructor so everybody understands what this course is, maybe some issues that we want to focus on, but we're going to get a course description, find out who developed the course. So we have some options here that allowed us the current instructor, somebody else, a course developer, have no idea who did it. Okay. The intended length of the course, is it a full semester, half semester, or what type of course? These impact on the guidance that we may give. How many semesters has this course been offered? Is it brand new? Are we looking at it for the first time, or is this a course that's been out there and maybe needs some refresh? What part of the course is a cohort or a sequence course? Does it require any online activities? And is there any particular area of the course that we need to focus on, that they would like additional feedback? So this is an opportunity for the instructor to reach out and say, I'm struggling with this. Can you give me some good recommendations on how to get past that? And then any other recommendations. So the first part, like I said, it goes out to a variety of different team members. I'm just going to walk through all the different tabs and explain how each one works. So the next one is dealing with accessibility. So in this accessibility review, let me see if I can beef up the size here a little bit. Okay. Okay, so basically what an instructor would do, or an evaluator, or not an evaluator, but an assessor, what they would do is, I'm going to get this right here. Let me, I've got room. Let me just kind of spread this out a little bit. We'll get there. Okay, so a couple things that evaluator is going to do is, one, start working through basically this checklist, and it can be done in any order, but it takes a little bit of time. That I'm finding going through a course straight on takes about 8 hours of work for me as the instructional designer reviewer to go through a course and assess it. At least that's where I am right now. With more practice, I'm sure we can get through it quicker, but this gives you an idea of how long it takes. So somebody who's looking at it in terms of accessibility, these are some of the things that they're going to be looking for. First of all, is the course got a simple and consistent design? Consistency in online courses is really essential, that they should have certain expectations when they go from maybe module to module, that everything's kind of laid out the same. It allows them, kind of take the guesswork, like, okay, in this module, the discussions were at the top, but I get to this module, it's like they're at the bottom. Next module, they're in the middle. You don't want to do this. You want to reduce all that mental overload as much as possible. They're going to look to make sure that things are logically organized, right? Related content should be put together. So if you have like a series of handouts, ideally you want to try to keep those handouts together, right? It makes it easier for them to find as opposed to just scattered everywhere. Consistent layout, using the same icons, same colors, to help with all that. Okay. Next, courses should be designed for ease of use. Simple looking, uncluttered, that you don't have just an array of things that they have to work through, that it's logically designed. That both icons and text should be used for homepage links. Okay. Making sure that we're looking at courses, that people can map things in different ways. that we're using text as a primary way of delivering information with images and other secondary information. And that when you describe something, give it a very descriptive titles. You know, for example, if you have a web page that says click here, you actually want to use something that's more descriptive. Say, you know, click here to access the handout, or you know, to access the handout. You know, maybe that's your link. That would be a little more descriptive than just click here, or you know, and we're really referencing, you know, or thinking about folks that are using screen readers to work through this. Course menu, okay? If you are not using tools, get rid of them, right? Hide them, take them off. You shouldn't have them if you're not using it. All the frequent tools, you know, make them available. The most important tools should be at the top. A search tool should also be at the top, making it so they can easily get through the course. Okay. Course overview information. Basically, the information about the course, how it's laid out, types of content available, tools that are going to be used, having an accessibility statement, right? Letting them know that you're thinking about this and you're trying to make the best course possible. Course should provide contact information for disability services, and you know, point them to our resources, right? And how to and give them ideas on how they can improve their accessibility, right? And you're thinking, well, I don't have anybody in my course that you know, that has those issues. Yeah, but you really don't know. You may not have somebody that is declared, but you could still have somebody in your course. I am a temporarily able-bodied person, but I'm deteriorating rapidly. My hearing's going, my sight's going, and you may have a lot of other folks that are out there just undeclared. Color. Don't use color to convey important information. You know, where if you've indicated you're gonna select the red for all the negative stuff and green for all the positive, well, somebody who's colorblind can't tell the difference. So you need to make sure that you're not using color as the only way to identify information, right? Things need to be understandable. What else? Text content should ensure readability, right? Standard size of 12 points, right? Flashing and blinking text, you should take that out. High contrast, so you know, black on white is high contrast. If you're doing red on green, probably not so much. Use things like headers and bullets and lists to organize information, okay? And make sure that, you know, things are logical when you're doing this, okay? So a text equivalent for non-text elements. Right? Images should have alternate text or descriptions explaining the meaning, right? So just labeling your images, what's going on. Audio and video files should have a transcript, should have closed captions for video. Audio narrated PowerPoint should have text transcripts and slide descriptions, right? Explain what's going on. Don't just put together a PowerPoint, throw it up there and rely on it without that information. Standard layout, so PowerPoint presentations. Standard layout and slide titles should be used on each slide. Templates should be used, right? Note section provides all that description. You know, use your note sections to give added information. Simple, non-automatic transitions. Do not auto forward your slides, right? Give control to the users, right? You have people who have different reading speeds. You know, they may be using a text reader to try to understand your slides. So you don't want it to go automatically. Any embedded video should be captioned and should not flicker. And Presentation should not be saved as a web page. Okay. So those are definitely things to consider. And if time response should be alerted when a time response is required, and sufficient time should be allocated to those students. So that's basically it. And so what's going to happen is the person who is looking at this in terms of accessibility is going to look at your material and see how it's all laid out and basically indicate if it needs a change, minor, sufficient, moderate, right? And also provide some text indicating, what things, where they found the problem, and give recommendations for improving this. And this information goes back to the instructor and actually goes into an action plan, which I'll talk about in a little bit, that shows how this all works, okay? So this is accessibility. So they're going to say, hey, you're doing a great job as far as organization. So you really have nothing else to improve upon there. Great. But it also may indicate, hey, you got some major things that you should really consider to improve this course for your students. And once again, if you're seeing in this course, there's a lot of dropouts, individuals are struggling, they're always asking you questions, it may be because of the design. And there's sometimes very simple ways that we can improve the design. Does it take work? Yes, but it will improve what you're doing. So let me move on over to Instructional Designer. Okay, so with the instruction design, one of the things that they have is they have these things called need ideas. So looking at these quality indicators, and these indicators were put together by a team of, from Open SUNY. They brought a variety of instructional designers and faculty together, but they also tapped into the research. And, so everything here is got a resource or a reference indicating why it's important and what you should be doing. And those can be found in this document. So course includes a welcome and getting started context. So here's an explanation. By welcoming learners to the course and providing context for what they will be learning, this instructor sets the tone for success from the start of the course. Learners benefit from an overview of the course with general information about the nature and purpose of the course activities, grading structure, where to find information, etc. And then also points you to a variety of resources where you can go read more about this and understand that. So when I review a course, I will pull a lot of information from this to kind of point you in the right direction and making sure that you're getting the guidance that you need for this. So what do we got here? There we go. Okay. So some of the things that we're looking for. Does the course include a welcome and getting started context, right? Just being out there and welcome. Now, I recommend a video. Put a video out there. Tell folks, what's going on, enthusiastic, right? It's hard to show enthusiasm with just a written word, right? Possible, but really hard. But if you create a video and let folks know, man, this is the greatest course, that gets folks on the right track, right? Having a syllabus, both as a PDF, but also broken out into pieces, right? What you're trying to do is make it easy for somebody to get to the appropriate piece. What are the technology issues? Boom, there it is, right? Doing that, right? Moving on, talking about links to campus policies on a variety of different issues, links to orientation and tutoring and technical help and how to do that. So that should be part of your course. You can put that in a separate module, separate section that sits off to the side, but it should be there. Information about the course to include the instructor, department, and program. right? Information about the instructor. Why are they qualified to teach this course, right? Making sure that it clearly states that this is an online course, or if it's blended or web enhanced, right? Putting that information in there. If you have any other tools or devices, you want to let them know, about that information, and making sure that that works smoothly. Requisite skills for third-party or tools, right? If you're pointing them to lynda.com because they need to know how to use spreadsheets and they need that as part of an exercise, right? Letting them know that you're sending them there. Any other technical skills for participation, make sure that they have those access to those materials ahead of time so they can learn how to use it and practice up before they get to you, right? Being able to know the instructor, right? That's where that welcome comes in, but also talk about yourself. Become a person, not just behind the screen, okay? Also, have an area where students can, get to meet each other, kind of like a student lounge in your course, but also have an activity, right? Having activities where students have something to do, okay? Grading policies, making sure they're out there. Expectations for feedback, right? Are you providing feedback over the weekend? Yes or no? Let them know when, if they ask a question, when should they expect a reply from you, right? If they're expecting, most cases are expecting immediate replies, but the reality is you probably, you got 24 hours to get back to them, or maybe the weekend's in the way. So, every business day, right? Let those know up front. Okay. What the rules are for netiquette, right? What you're in a discussion forum, how that all works and why they should be polite. How things are graded and how they're weighed. Courses organized, logical. Hyperlinks are used where appropriate, right? So you have a resource. Instead of including the resource 3 or 4 times, linking back to the original resource, those things are important. Given an orientation, right? Really simple thing, right? Part of that video, just like I'm showing you this tool right now of how the rubric works. You could do the same thing in Blackboard and go in and explain your course and show them where everything's at, and that students who review that will come out more comfortable understanding how that all works, okay? Course objectives are clearly outlined. Instructions are provided and well written. Once again, you're not there, right? In a classroom, they can ask 1,000 questions, but online, they're relying a lot on your written word in order for those instructions. So you got to spend a little more time making sure that they're as clear as possible to help them be successful, right? Offering access to a variety of engaging internal and external resources that support the content, right? There's a great video on YouTube. There are a wealth of open education resources that you could be linking to support your content, right? Give them a lot more where they, maybe there is something that just kind of whets their appetite and they just want to dive in and devour the rest of it. Putting that information out there. Course uses a variety of technical tools and activities to facilitate communication, deliver content, support learning and engagement, right? So you're using variety, not the same thing over and over, right? Give some engagement, have them learn something new, have them do a different activity, right? Course offers opportunities for student interaction and collaboration. Many courses out there, the student is in isolation. All they do is talk to the instructor. That's it. And that isolation is tough. As somebody who has taken a lot of online courses as part of the degree programs, that can be a struggle if you're out there by yourself. Having opportunities to collaborate is huge. So other things provide opportunities to share resources, right? Within the class, you can use social media, a lot of different tools, and it expands their knowledge of the world and how people share information. What else? Course provides activities for students to develop higher order thinking, problem-solving skills, emulate real-world application of the discipline. All right, are your activities doing that? Course content is current, free of bias, and represents multiple perspectives. Right, where possible, using open education resources. Courses should include frequent and appropriate methods to assess mastery of content. Criteria for assessment are clearly articulated. Students have opportunities to review their performance and assess their own learning through the course, right? Self-test, right? Give them opportunities to practice that are not even graded, and they will do better on the overall exam. At least that's what the research shows, right? Students have access to an up-to-date gradebook, right? Students want to know where they stand, and that will help a lot. Students have multiple opportunities to provide descriptive feedback on course design opportunities. One of the suggestions in online courses that I have taught is I would just include an anonymous survey that I would put out there every week just to get input, right? What can I do to tweak this course to make it better for them? Course accessibility, right? We have a whole section talking about accessibility, but once again, it's an important issue. Consistency in design, once again, that goes back into accessibility. Is it been proofread for grammar and spelling errors? That's important. Course materials and resources include copyright, licensing status, clearly stating permission to share where applicable, right? Are we including these in our courses? So once again, as I would go through it as a reviewer, I would check this off as sufficiently present or needs some major rework and give recommendations in an action plan. And I'll show you that action plan shortly. The next tab is very much identical to the Instructional Designer tab, but this is where the faculty member, the instructor, basically gets to go out and do a self-assessment on their own course, right? So you're going to get, sorry about that. You're going to get information from me and my team from an instructional designer perspective, but also the faculty member gets to review their own course. And that works the same way, same links to ideas. That'll take you to the same place. And then we have an external reviewer. So the external reviewer is somebody that's familiar with the quality review process and has volunteered to look over courses. And they have a very short checklist that they are working through. It's an abbreviated checklist, and they're looking at it through very much student eyes. And they're looking at such things as, is a course organized in a logical way? Is it orientation or overview provided? Instructions well written? Course offers access to a variety of engaging internal, external resources? Course is current, free of bias? Frequent, appropriate measures to a self-student mastery of content criteria for assessment, clearly articulated, have access to the grade book. So that is how they're seeing this. And once again, they link back to the same information, and they will give their recommendations. So we've got a lot of people making recommendations here. So and faculty member can also make their own recommendations. So self notes to yourself, basically. So what happens is this all comes together in an action plan. So course includes course information area that deconstructs the syllabus, right? Priority, right? So they have these things listed in various priorities. Whoops. and some things that are very essential. And I think we can make tweaks to those. But so these things are kind of categorized in different ways. So the first part is content preservation, or presentation, online organization and design, how things are organized. So all those various elements across those three tabs from instructional designer, faculty, and reviewer come together. All the notes come together, and kind of a timeline on how long it would take to fix something. Whether it's a major issue or insignificant, kind of a minor issue. And so they would all come together, and all those notes would be listed under each appropriate item. And so you would walk out with this action plan. And one of the things that I would do is sit down with the faculty member and go over this action plan to make sure that everything's clear. Otherwise, we'll make some adjustments to it. So everybody knows who's responsible to help improve this course and how long it'll take and issues like that. Okay. So this first part, online organization design. The next section got a few things, learning support and resources. So all that learning support, pointing them to resources that we have on campus or maybe online, that improves the course. The nice thing about it, when you roll over your course, all those things will go with you. Collaboration and interaction, general teaching presence, social presence, right? Very big on having an opportunity to come together and learn about each other. Evaluation and assessment. So those pieces that deal with how to get feedback or assess the course. And then, time to refresh, how long it would take you to kind of make all those tweaks to your course, and then an overall narrative. And they'll be, all pulled together. The last one is an action plan for accessibilities. All right, so this basically just kind of follows this, but it will pull those items from the accessibility and, give you guidance or give you information that will kind of clarify which items need to be fixed and where they're located. Some things may be all over your course, but some things may just be in one section and one specific thing. So they take a look at those particular items. Right, that is kind of what we do, right? So we'll go through this. Everybody gets a chance to look at it. Now, for the, and I don't have an active example right now, but overall, these various evaluation or the various course reviews, quality reviews, are looked at. We have a kind of an enterprise sheet that will pull the feedback and pull the basically items that need to be tweaked from all of them and aggregates them together, which then helps us decide, what kind of training that we need to provide. And this training is something that we can, kind of program in to say, okay, we've done 8 reviews now, and this is an item that folks are not clear about. So gives us an opportunity to write some blog posts. It gives us an opportunity to maybe have something at faculty development days, or gives us an opportunity to, maybe put a webinar and explain how that all works and things like that. So the idea is that we continuously improve our courses, right? The better the courses are, the better that students do, the higher completion rate, right? The better that we will retain students and succeed in our mission. And that's what the bottom line is. So that is a quick overview on the OSCQR process. And thank you for taking a moment of your day to watch this. Have a good one.